traveling the world can be exhilarating, life-changing, and eye-opening. But beneath the beauty of new cultures and breathtaking landscapes lurks a darker side, one filled with corruption, scams, and dangers that every traveler must be prepared for. From shady government officials demanding bribes to street scams that can drain your bank account in minutes. Today we'll expose some of the most corrupt travel destinations, break down the most notorious scams, and give you insider tips on how to stay safe while traveling. The dark side of travel, corrupt destinations, scams, and how to outsmart them. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on what really happens when you step off the beaten path. Some places are known for their breathtaking beauty, but others are infamous for corruption. And whether you're a first-time traveler or a seasoned backpacker, knowing what to expect can save you money, time, and even your safety. When we talk about corruption, we're not just referring to politics. For travelers, corruption takes many forms. Bribery from law enforcement, border officials demanding extra fees, fake fines and overcharges, scams targeting tourists with inflated prices, organized crime preying on foreigners. Some countries rank higher on corruption indexes than others. And today we're exploring the ones where travelers need to be extra vigilant. Number 1 in the list is Venezuela. Venezuela is a country of breathtaking natural beauty, from the towering Angel Falls to the pristine beaches of Los Roques. However, beneath this scenic paradise lies a nation struggling with severe economic and political turmoil, making it one of the most challenging destinations for travelers. Years of hyperinflation, political instability, and a collapsed healthcare system have contributed to widespread corruption at nearly every level of society. For visitors, this corruption can manifest in several ways. In Caracas, the capital city, the risks are even greater. The city has one of the highest violent crime rates in the world, and kidnappings, especially express kidnappings, are a serious concern. Common scams include corrupt police and roadblock scams. One of the most widespread and dangerous issues in Venezuela is corrupt law enforcement and criminals posing as police officers to set up fake roadblocks. These roadblocks serve one purpose: extorting money from travelers, and they can happen anywhere, from major highways to isolated rural roads. As you travel through Venezuela, particularly in and around major cities like Caracas, Maracaibo, and Valencia, you may encounter roadblocks set up by uniformed officers or armed men in civilian clothing. These individuals may claim to be checking for identification, visa compliance, or traffic violations. They will often fabricate an issue, such as claiming your passport is not valid, your rental car is improperly registered, or you violated an unknown local law. You are then given two options. 1. Pay a fine on the spot, which is nothing more than a bribe. 2. Face arrest, vehicle impoundment, or passport confiscation, which can lead to further extortion. In some cases, corrupt officers may even plant contraband in a traveler's car or luggage and use it as leverage to demand larger bribes. One of the busiest roads in the country, often targeted by corrupt police. Border crossings with Colombia and Brazil, especially in Taquara, Apure, and Bolivar states, where criminal gangs and corrupt officials operate. Coastal routes leading to popular beaches, tourists heading to Margarita Island, Los Roques, or Moroccoy National Park may face roadblocks set up by police or armed groups. Routes near national parks and remote towns. Travelers heading to Canaima National Park or the Grand Sabana are particularly vulnerable due to the lack of law enforcement oversight in these areas. How to protect yourself from roadblock scams. Always carry copies of your documents. Never hand over your original passport, visa, or ID unless inside a verified police station. Keep laminated copies to show officers instead. If asked to pay a fine on the spot, insist on an official written citation. Most corrupt officers won't want to leave a paper trail and will back off. No emergency contacts. Have the phone numbers of your embassy, local legal support, and emergency services 112 saved in your phone. Use a trusted local driver. If renting a car, hire a trusted local driver from a reputable company who knows the safest routes and how to handle corrupt officers. Avoid driving at night. Roadblocks are more common after dark, and the risk of encountering criminal roadblocks, set up by gangs instead of corrupt police, increases. If stopped, stay calm but firm. Keep interactions short and professional. Avoid arguing or showing fear. Say, "I do not carry cash. If there's a problem, let's go to the nearest police station." Most scammers don't want the hassle of official procedures and will let you go. Next is express kidnapping. Venezuela, particularly Caracas, Maracaibo, and Valencia, has a high risk of express kidnappings, a terrifying crime where victims are abducted for a short period and forced to withdraw money until their bank accounts are empty. Unlike traditional kidnappings, which involve long negotiations for ransom, express kidnappings are fast, brutal, and primarily financially motivated. Criminals watch potential victims, especially foreigners, wealthy-looking individuals, or solo travelers at airports, hotels, shopping centers, or restaurants. Victims are forced into cars at gunpoint while walking in public areas, hailing taxis, or even leaving their hotels. In some cases, the criminals are posing as taxi drivers or police officers to make the victim feel safe before attacking. The kidnappers restrain or blindfold the victim to prevent them from identifying their surroundings. The criminals may also demand ATM cards and PIN numbers, forcing the victim to withdraw the maximum cash limit. The victim may be driven to multiple ATMs over several hours, clearing out different accounts. If the victim's card stops working, kidnappers may demand that they call a friend or family member to send money via bank transfer or cryptocurrency. Even beaten if they do not comply quickly. Some kidnappers fake a ransom situation, calling relatives and demanding money under the threat of killing the victim. If the criminals believe the victim is wealthy, they may hold them longer or escalate the ransom demands. If the criminals empty all bank accounts, the victim is often abandoned in a remote area. In extreme cases, criminals may hold the victim longer, sell them to another gang, or even demand additional ransoms from relatives. How to avoid express kidnapping in Venezuela. Use only trusted transportation. Never hail random taxis from the street, as many criminals pose as taxi drivers to lure unsuspecting victims. Book transportation through your hotel or use verified, private car services instead of public taxis. If using a rideshare app, confirm the driver's identity and vehicle details before entering the car. Avoid traveling alone at night, especially in high-crime areas like Caracas and Maracaibo. When possible, travel with a group. Criminals are less likely to target groups than solo travelers. Always carry 2 wallets. A decoy wallet with a small amount of cash, and expired credit cards to hand over if confronted. Your real wallet stored in a hidden, secure location, inside your shoe, in a money belt, or under your clothing. Never carry large amounts of cash. Withdraw only what you need for the day. Use credit or prepaid travel cards instead of cash whenever possible. If forced to withdraw money at an ATM, start with a small amount and pretend your card has a withdrawal limit. Blend in and avoid attracting attention. Dress modestly and avoid wearing expensive jewelry, watches, or designer clothing. Keep a low profile. Flashy behavior can attract criminals looking for wealthy targets. Avoid speaking loudly in foreign languages in public places, as this can signal that you are a tourist. Be discreet when using maps or checking your phone for directions. Looking lost makes you an easy target. Avoid isolated areas, especially at night. Stick to well-lit, busy streets. Be extra cautious outside banks, ATMs, luxury hotels, and upscale restaurants, as criminals often scout these locations for wealthy victims. If you suspect you are being followed, immediately enter a crowded store, hotel, or police station. Keep your phone hidden while walking in public. Thieves on motorcycles often snatch phones from Share your travel itinerary with family or friends and check in regularly. Set up a code word to secretly alert loved ones if you are in danger. Have a backup phone with an emergency SIM card hidden in your belongings in case your main phone is stolen. If you are targeted, stay calm. Criminals want money, not unnecessary problems. If confronted, comply with demands quickly to avoid escalation. If forced into a car, leave fingerprints on surfaces discreetly to aid authorities later. Observe details about your kidnappers, accents, clothing, tattoos, vehicle type for police reports. Thirdly, taxi and rideshare scams. Taxis in Venezuela are largely unregulated, making them a major risk for travelers. With no official oversight, many drivers operate illegally, while others are linked to organized crime. Tourists and foreigners are prime targets for overcharging, robbery, or even kidnapping. Some taxi drivers intentionally take longer routes to increase the fare. If the taxi has a meter, it may be rigged to charge double or triple the actual price. In some cases, drivers claim the meter is broken and demand an excessive amount at the end of the ride. Criminals disguise themselves as taxi drivers and operate near airports, bus stations, and tourist areas. Once inside, passengers may be robbed, driven to an ATM to withdraw money, or handed over to a criminal gang. Some fake taxis work in teams, where another car follows to assist in the crime. Certain taxi drivers work directly with criminal gangs. They pick up unsuspecting travelers and take them to pre-arranged locations where armed criminals rob or kidnap them. Victims may be forced to withdraw cash or call family members to send money for their release. At Simón Bolívar International Airport, Caracas, and major bus terminals, scammers pretend to be taxi drivers and aggressively approach travelers. Some criminals even wear fake airport badges to appear legitimate. They lure tourists into unmarked vehicles and either overcharge them, rob them, or worse, kidnap them. How to avoid taxi and rideshare scams in Venezuela. Never take a random taxi from the street. Only use pre-arranged, official taxis through your hotel or a trusted company. Avoid accepting rides from strangers, even if they seem helpful or friendly. Never enter an unmarked or poorly maintained taxi. Legitimate taxis should have identifiable signage or branding. Book through trusted services. If using a rideshare app, ensure it is widely used in the area. Some apps may not function properly due to government restrictions. Before entering a ride, check the driver's name, license plate, and car model to ensure they match the app. Use well-reviewed private transport services instead of public taxis. Agree on a fare before the ride. Many taxis do not use meters, so always negotiate and agree on a price before entering the vehicle. Have local currency ready to avoid disputes over exchange rates. Ask a local or hotel staff for the standard fare to your destination. If you must travel late, arrange a hotel car service or use a trusted driver. Sit in the back seat, lock the doors, and keep your belongings close. Be wary of sudden route changes. If your driver starts taking an unusual route or refuses to drop you off at your requested location, demand to be let out immediately in a crowded, well-lit area. If you feel unsafe, call a friend or local contact and speak in a way that lets the driver know someone is expecting you. Have a backup plan. Carry a local SIM card or portable Wi-Fi device to ensure you have internet access to check maps and communicate in an emergency. The next scam in Venezuela is street scams and pickpocketing. Street scams and pickpocketing are widespread in Venezuela, especially in major cities like Caracas, Maracaibo, and Valencia. Scammers use clever distraction tactics to steal wallets, phones, and valuables from unsuspecting tourists. A scammer approaches a tourist in a friendly manner, either by asking for directions or making conversation. While the tourist is distracted, an accomplice steals from their bag or pockets. Some even pretend to be fellow travelers to gain trust. The fake accident scam: someone spills liquid, food, or even fake bird droppings on your clothing. They apologize profusely and offer to help clean it up. While you're distracted, they steal your wallet, phone, or bag. This is known as the bump and snatch trick. This is common in crowded areas like bus stations, markets, and metro stations. Thieves use razor blades or knives to slash open backpacks, purses, or pockets. They work in teams. One distracts the victim, while another cuts open their bag. In some cases, ATMs are tampered with to clone your card information. Now, how do you avoid pickpocketing and street scams in Venezuela? Carry minimal cash and use a money belt. Only carry what you need for the day. Keep extra cash locked in your hotel safe. Use a money belt or hidden pouch instead of carrying everything in your pockets. Keep bags and pockets secured. Wear crossbody bags with zippers and keep them in front of you. Avoid backpacks in crowded areas. If you must wear one, keep it on your front. Keep phones and wallets in inner pockets, never in back pockets or loose bags. Ignore overly friendly strangers who approach randomly. Avoid using ATMs in public places. Use indoor ATMs inside banks or malls whenever possible. Cover the keypad while entering your PIN and avoid engaging with strangers. Avoid standing near doorways on public transport, where snatch and run thefts occur. Carry a photocopy of your passport in case your original is stolen. Use a tracking app on your phone in case it gets lost or stolen. Have an emergency contact saved on your phone and written down separately. The second country on the list is Dubai. Dubai, the shimmering jewel of the Middle East, is famous for its luxury shopping, towering skyscrapers, and extravagant lifestyle. But beneath this glamorous exterior lies a darker side, one that includes tourist scams, financial fraud, and hidden risks for the uninformed traveler. Dubai markets itself as one of the safest cities in the world. And while violent crime is rare, scams and financial exploitation are far more common than most tourists realize. From overpriced taxis to hidden fees and organized fraud rings, there are many traps that can catch even the most experienced travelers off guard. Let's break down the most common scams in Dubai, how they work, and most importantly, how you can avoid them. Number 1 scam in Dubai is hidden fees in desert safari and tour packages. Dubai's desert safaris are a must-do experience, promising dune bashing, camel rides, and cultural performances. But many tourists don't realize that the affordable price they booked may not cover everything. This is a classic bait and switch tactic. Many budget safari operators advertise incredibly low prices, sometimes as little as $30, only to charge extra for basic activities once you arrive. You may find yourself paying additional fees for dune bashing, henna tattoos, Arabic coffee, or even a shaded seating area. Many websites and agents advertise all-inclusive safaris at a very low price, but the fine print reveals that key experiences are not actually included. Once you reach the desert camp, you're informed that your package is basic and that you must pay extra for nearly everything. Tour operators may push you to upgrade for a VIP experience, claiming that the standard package only provides poor seating or limited activities. Some tourists report being charged unexpected taxes or mandatory tips at the end of their experience. Imagine thinking you've booked a thrilling desert adventure, only to realize you're being nickel and dimed at every step. By the end of the trip, what seemed like a cheap excursion could end up costing double or triple what you expected. How to avoid this hidden fees? Book with reputable companies. Avoid random tour operators at malls or WhatsApp-based agencies. Stick to well-known tour companies with verified reviews. Always ask for a detailed breakdown of what's included before booking. Does the price include unlimited drinks? Are camel rides free? Is there a charge for dune bashing? Avoid too good to be true deals. If a safari is priced significantly lower than others, there's probably a catch. Quality tours usually start at $60 to $100 per person. Also confirm pricing beforehand. Ask directly if there are any additional fees for specific activities. A desert safari should be an incredible, hassle-free experience. By doing a little research and avoiding suspiciously cheap offers, you can enjoy an unforgettable adventure without getting scammed. Next scam in Dubai is the free bracelet or gift scam. You're exploring a new city, soaking in the sights, when suddenly a friendly vendor approaches. They slip a bracelet onto your wrist or hand you a small trinket, saying it's a gift, a symbol of friendship, culture, or good luck. It seems like a kind gesture, until things take a turn. This is a classic scam that plays on human psychology. Once you've accepted the gift, the scammer will pressure you into paying, using guilt, aggression, or even public embarrassment to force you into handing over cash. Scammers pose as warm and welcoming locals, pretending to offer a gift as a gesture of goodwill. They place a bracelet on your wrist, drape a scarf over your shoulders, or hand you a small trinket before you can refuse. After you've accepted, they suddenly insist that it wasn't free. They may claim you misunderstood or that you now owe them money for their handmade item. If you hesitate, they may create a scene, yell, or even gather other scammers to apply group pressure, making you feel forced to pay just to get out of the situation. Some scammers will act hurt or disappointed, claiming that refusing to pay is an insult to their culture or livelihood. How do you to avoid this free bracelet scam? Never accept unsolicited gifts. If a stranger offers something for free, assume there's a catch. Keep your hands to yourself. If someone tries to slip a bracelet on your wrist, pull away quickly. Be firm and confident. A polite but stern no, thank you, while continuing to walk away is the best response. Don't engage in conversation. Scammers rely on getting you to stop and talk. Avoid making eye contact and keep moving. Avoid areas known for aggressive street vendors. Research common scams in your destination before traveling. Third travel scam in Dubai is fake luxury goods and overpriced souvenirs. Dubai is known for its luxury shopping, but if you're not careful, you might end up paying top dollar for fake or overpriced items. From counterfeit designer goods to inflated prices at tourist markets, knowing how to shop smart is key to avoiding scams. Dubai's souks and street markets are filled with vendors selling what appear to be high-end luxury goods at bargain prices. But many of these items, whether watches, perfumes, handbags, or gold jewelry, are actually fakes, often indistinguishable from the real thing to an untrained eye. Some street vendors and small market stalls sell fake versions of popular brands, such as Louis Vuitton, Rolex, or Chanel, at seemingly too good to be true prices. Some counterfeiters even claim the items are factory rejects or authentic but stolen to justify the lower cost. The gold souk in Dubai is famous for its stunning jewelry, but some vendors mark up prices significantly for tourists. Some sellers mix lower quality gold with higher carats, misleading buyers about its purity. Dubai is also known for its premium perfumes and electronics, but many knockoffs are sold at local markets. Vendors may also quote prices in dirhams, but later demand payment in dollars or euros at an unfavorable exchange rate. So, how can you protect yourself from these scams? Do your research before shopping. Look up standard prices for items you want to buy, especially gold, perfumes, and luxury brands. Check the current international gold price per gram before heading to the gold souk. Haggling is expected in Dubai's markets. Never accept the first price offered. Vendors often inflate prices for tourists. Verify gold purity before buying. Ask for the weight and price per gram. Look for the hallmark stamp indicating the carat. Example: 18K, 22K, 24K. Ask for gold certificate. Reputable jewelers in Dubai provide certificates of authenticity for gold and diamonds. Avoid buying branded perfumes from street vendors selling at huge discounts. Check for official holograms, barcodes, and packaging to ensure authenticity. A seller claims an item is stolen or a factory reject. Walk away. This is a scam tactic. If you're making a big purchase, use a credit card instead of cash. It offers fraud protection in case you need a refund. Get a written receipt for any high-value purchase to avoid disputes later. Lastly, for Dubai scams, rental car damage scam. Renting a car in Dubai can be a convenient and exciting way to explore the city and beyond. Some unscrupulous rental agencies take advantage of unsuspecting tourists by blaming them for pre-existing damage. These fake repairs can cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and refusing to pay can lead to withheld deposits or legal trouble. In some cases, the agency may even fabricate new scratches between rental periods. Some rental companies approve your return, but later claim they discovered damage. Since you're no longer present, they charge your credit card without giving you a chance to dispute it. Some agencies claim the fuel tank wasn't full upon return, even if you filled it up before arriving. Others may claim you exceeded the mileage limit, even if there wasn't one in the agreement, and demand additional charges. So, how can you avoid getting caught in this rental car trap? Inspect the car before driving off. Before you leave the lot, do a thorough inspection of the car, checking for any dents, scratches, or damage. Take high-resolution photos and videos of the entire car, including the wheels, undercarriage, and interior. Ensure the rental agent acknowledges any pre-existing damage in writing before you sign anything. Check fuel levels and mileage policies. Always photograph the fuel gauge and odometer before and after the rental to avoid disputes. If you're required to return the car with a full tank, fill it up at a gas station nearby and keep the receipt as proof. Use a reputable rental company. Avoid suspiciously cheap rental agencies with bad reviews online. Stick to well-known brands like Hertz, Avis, or Enterprise, which have more accountability. Check reviews on Google, TripAdvisor, and forums to see if the company has a history of scamming tourists. Make sure the rental agreement clearly states the car's condition, fuel level, and any additional fees. Before signing, ask about the damage policy and how disputes are handled. Consider third-party rental insurance. Some credit cards automatically provide rental car coverage. Check with your bank before traveling. Return the car during business hours. If possible, return the car in person and have a rental agent inspect it with you. Avoid drop-offs outside of working hours, as companies may later claim damage that wasn't there. Number 3 country on the list is Egypt. Egypt is a bucket list destination, famous for its pyramids, ancient temples, and bustling markets. However, as with many tourist-heavy countries, scams are common, and unsuspecting travelers can easily fall victim. Here's a breakdown of the most common travel scams in Egypt and how to protect yourself. The first scam in Egypt is the friendly local guide scam. One of the most common scams is the friendly local guide trick, where seemingly helpful individuals approach tourists, offering free assistance, only to trap them in a high-pressure tipping situation. A well-dressed, friendly local greets you near a major attraction like the Pyramids of Giza, Karnak Temple, or the Valley of the Kings. He strikes up a conversation, often complimenting you, asking where you're from, or pretending to be a fellow traveler. He offers to show you around for free, saying he just enjoys helping visitors or wants to practice English. During the tour, he takes you off the main path, claiming he has special access or knows a secret spot for the best photos. At the end, he suddenly demands a tip, baksheesh, often much higher than what you'd expect. If you hesitate, he may guilt-trip you, pressure you saying, "You must pay me for my time," or even become aggressive if you refuse. Instead of showing you the attraction, the fake guide takes you to specific shops where you're pressured to buy expensive souvenirs where the guide gets a cut of every sale. How to avoid the friendly local guide scam. Ignore strangers who offer a free tour. Scammers rely on catching tourists off guard, using charm and persistence to convince you to follow them. The best strategy is to avoid engaging in conversations with strangers offering tours or special experiences. If someone approaches you at tourist hotspots like the Pyramids of Giza, Luxor, or the Egyptian Museum and offers a free tour, politely decline and keep walking. If they insist, firmly say no, thank you, and do not make eye contact. Confidence is key. Scammers target hesitant or confused travelers. If someone claims they are an official guide but have no ID badge, they are likely a scammer. To avoid being scammed, always book tours through licensed operators or your hotel. Your hotel concierge can arrange tours with verified local guides. Online platforms like Viator, Get Your Guide, and TripAdvisor have reviews and ratings, ensuring authenticity. At major sites, look for official government licensed guides who wear identification badges. Agree on a price up front. Don't fall for the free trick. A classic scam is the free guide who later demands a tip. To avoid this, a guide who says, "Don't worry about payment now, we'll discuss it later," is likely planning to pressure you at the end. Never hand over your phone or camera to someone you don't trust. Another common scam involves locals offering to take your photo and then refusing to return your device unless you tip them heavily. Only ask other tourists or official staff to take your photo. If a stranger insists on taking your picture, politely decline and walk away. Keep a firm grip on your belongings at all times. Many scammers rely on psychological pressure to make you feel guilty for not paying. Stay calm but firm. Do not let guilt force you into giving money. If they persist, say no and walk away quickly. If scammer follows you or becomes aggressive, seek help from a uniformed police officer or enter a nearby shop or hotel for safety. Avoid sharing personal details. Scammers may ask about your job or income to gauge how much they can charge you. Carry small change in an easily accessible pocket. If you feel forced to tip, giving a small amount is better than showing a full wallet. Know the local tipping customs. Egyptians often expect small tips, baksheesh, for minor services. Scammers target tourists who look lost or uncertain. Walk confidently, and if approached, say no and keep moving. Next on Egyptian scams is the camel ride scam. A trip to Egypt's pyramids of Giza wouldn't feel complete without the classic camel ride experience. Many tourists dream of riding a camel against the backdrop of the Great Pyramid and Sphinx, but unfortunately, this dream can quickly turn into a financial nightmare due to scammers and dishonest camel handlers. This scam has been happening for years, and despite numerous complaints from tourists, it remains one of the most notorious tourist traps in Egypt. As soon as you arrive at the pyramids, friendly camel handlers approach, often wearing traditional Egyptian attire to appear more authentic. They enthusiastically offer a short ride for an unbelievably low price, usually just $5 or even less. The low price makes it seem like a great deal, and excited tourists quickly agree. Once the tourist gets on the camel, the scammer's attitude changes completely. Instead of the promised price, they now demand $50, $100, or even more, claiming that the initial price only covered getting on the camel, not the ride itself. If the tourist protests, the handler refuses to let them down. Others take tourists far from their original spot, forcing them to pay a huge sum to be brought back. At this point, most tourists feel stuck and end up paying whatever is demanded just to end the stressful situation. This scam is so common that even some local tour guides warn their guests about it in advance. However, because the camel ride experience is so iconic, many travelers still fall for it, unaware of the tricks used by these scammers. How to avoid the camel ride scam in Egypt. Book through a reputable tour agency. The safest way to ride a camel in Egypt is to book in advance with a trusted tour company. Many hotels, travel agencies, and online platforms, such as Viator or Get Your Guide, offer legitimate camel rides at fair prices. These tours are usually all-inclusive, meaning no hidden fees or scams. Avoid random camel handlers at the pyramids. Do not accept camel rides from people who approach you on the street or near tourist sites. Many of these handlers operate independently and are the most likely to scam tourists. If you really want a last-minute camel ride, ask a licensed guide or hotel staff for a trusted recommendation. Agree on the full price before getting on the camel. Before you even touch the camel, clearly agree on a fixed price for the entire experience, including the ride itself. Any extra time if you want photos. Confirm the price in Egyptian pounds, EGP, USD, or euros. Some scammers pretend they meant per minute instead of a total price. Get everything in writing if possible, or repeat the agreement clearly so there's no confusion later. Avoid using large bills. Some scammers claim they don't have change and force you to pay extra. Don't give your phone or camera to strangers. If you want photos, take them yourself or ask a trusted companion. There are official tourist police at the pyramids. If you feel harassed, report the scam immediately. If you want a more authentic experience, consider less crowded locations like Saqqara, Dahshur, the White Desert. These places tend to have fewer scammers, and the experience is often cheaper and more enjoyable. Lastly on Egypt scams is the papyrus and perfume shop scam. Egypt is famous for its ancient papyrus art and fragrant perfumes, making these highly sought-after souvenirs for tourists. However, many stores take advantage of this by luring visitors into overpriced, low-quality, or outright fake products through aggressive sales tactics and deceptive marketing. Many scams begin with a tour guide, taxi driver, or local friend, offering to take you to a famous papyrus museum or authentic perfume factory, completely free of charge. Once inside, you'll be greeted with smiles and offered free tea or coffee, while an employee gives an impressive demonstration on how papyrus is made or how their essential oils are extracted using ancient Egyptian methods. Despite the elaborate sales pitch, the reality is most papyrus paintings are not real. Papyrus, they are cheap banana leaf imitations that fade quickly. The perfumes are often diluted, synthetic, or mislabeled. Some even contain harmful chemicals. Prices are hugely inflated, with tourists paying up to 10 times more than the real value. Sometimes they gift you a small free item, like a miniature papyrus scroll, to create a sense of obligation, making you feel pressured to return the favor by buying something. How to avoid the papyrus and perfume shop scam. Never accept free tours to shops. Politely decline any free shopping offered by guides, drivers, or locals. If your tour package includes a shopping stop, ask to skip it or research the store before visiting. If you want souvenirs, visit well-known, reputable stores on your own, not ones suggested by strangers. Check average prices online before shopping. Visit local markets where Egyptians shop, like Khan al-Khalili in Cairo, but compare prices at multiple stalls before buying. Ask for papyrus certificate. Many shops claim their papyrus, perfume, or jewelry comes with an official certificate, proving authenticity. In reality, certificates are often fake and have no real value. Papyrus shops sometimes print their own certificates, making it seem like an official document. Real papyrus is thick, slightly rough, and fibrous. Fake papyrus, banana leaves, feels smooth and plastic-like. Authentic Egyptian perfume should not contain alcohol. Ask for a sample and test how it evaporates on your skin. Buy from established brands or museums, not tourist traps. Always carry small bills. Some shops double charge your card or add extra fees after you agree on a price. They may refuse to give change if you pay in cash, claiming they don't have small bills. If using a credit card, ask to see the final amount before entering your PIN. Avoid signing anything you don't understand. Some stores include extra charges in Arabic writing. Remember, stay informed, trust your instincts, and always double-check the facts before making decisions. A little awareness goes a long way in ensuring a smooth and scam-free trip. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with fellow travelers. And if you had any travel experiences, good or bad, in all these countries I mentioned, like this video and drop a comment below. Stay safe and see you in the next adventure.